He's a home wrecker, narcissist, manipulator, alcoholic, drug addict, narcissist, liar. What's the word, guys? Goddesses, shit. We back with another one today, and we on BOJACK fucking Horseman today. If you know anything about this horse, this has to be the worst fictional character to ever be thought of in human existence. Why are we going triple DPS? Let's just get into it. First off, he had this best friend, alleged best friend, named Herb that they had this show with together, and eventually it came to the point where the showrunners wanted to fire Herb for, I don't remember the exact reason, but eventually they wanted to fire Herb. And instead of BOJACK standing on morals, you know what I'm saying, and not letting himself be manipulated and just standing on business for his friend, he completely abandons him, lets the executive sway his decision making, and he just completely abandons Herb. And then Herb just goes MIA from BOJACK for years, right? Eventually they finally reconnect and BOJACK tries to apologize. Herb is not hearing any of it. He's telling you, like, he tells him, like, BOJACK comes back and he tries to apologize after all those years, and Herb is just not having it. He just tells him straight up, I don't accept your apology, eh? He straight up denied his apology. And I respect Herb for that. He stood on his business. Because like he said in the show, he doesn't have to accept BOJACK's apology at all. BOJACK just wanted to feel better about himself, which is a constant recurring theme in the show. He constantly tries to take advantage of others. And when Herb didn't accept his apology, a lot of people don't talk about this, I noticed, for some reason. But BOJACK ended up trying to beat up Herb. He ended up fighting Herb before he left his house. But no, BOJACK put hands on a man with cancer because he felt slighted because he wasn't willing to accept his damn apology. BOJACK is a complete something about BOJACK just ain't right. So that's three things BOJACK was doing. He let his homie get fired after abandoning him. Didn't stand up for him at all. So he abandoned him. When he apologized, he wasn't willing to accept it, which is not Herb's fault at all. That is 100% okay. And he just couldn't accept that shit because of his damn insecurities. And then another problem BOJACK has, he constantly tries to blame his parents and other people for his shortcomings. He never tries to be a grown man and grow. Keep in mind, by the time we come across BOJACK and witness who he is a 40-year-old man. He is 40 years old. There's no excuse for him to act the way he acts. He has zero excuse for the way he decides to act as a grown-ass man. 40 fucking years old, acting like that? Insane. He just refused to grow. I get his parents were complete pieces of shit. I'm not excusing that. His parents were horrible. They did not love that boy, and they should not have had a child. But when you're 40 years old, after a while, the parent excuse is out the window, man. Like, imagine a grown-ass 40-year-old in real life and be like, oh yeah, bro, my parents were just so bad. That's why I act the way I act. 40 years old. 40. Still blaming your parents for the way you go about life. Like, there's no way. And there's people in real life that sympathize with BOJACK. If you sympathize with BOJACK, you have mental issues, bro. You're a narcissist just like him. And while you're watching the show, a quick thing, like not even, something BOJACK does wrong, but something that you hope never happens while watching the show. You hope he never gets into a serious relationship with Diane, because he's going to ruin that person. Like, Diane went through her whole thing on her own, which is okay. That's whatever. You're just praying the whole time he stays away from Diane for her sake, your sanity's sake, everybody's sake. You're just praying Diane just never falls for the BOJACK propaganda. Also, let's not forget Todd. Oh my goodness, the way he does Todd in this show. You would think Todd is a fucking piece of scum off the road, a piece of scum on BOJACK's boot. The way he treats Todd. Oh my goodness. You would think Todd is genuinely subhuman the way BOJACK treats him. He constantly belittles him, ignores him. He had his I don't remember exactly what it was called. He constantly ignores and belittles Todd. I forget what it was, but that episode where Todd was on a ship. It was that improv ship. That's what it was. I didn't have it on the top of my head, but Todd wanted BoJack to like really be a part of it and shit. All right, we back with it. That was such a dumbass fucking match, bro. Anyway, yeah, I was talking about Todd and shit and how he just completely belittles him and acts as if he's not even a human. But yeah, he just treats Todd like garbage, subhuman garbage. You would think Todd. Moving on from fucking Todd, man. Let's talk about Princess Carolyn and his over dependency. That has to be the most leech relationship I have ever seen in my life. From jump, we see how bad he treats Princess Carolyn, from just using her when it's convenient for the sex or to make himself feel better. That's a common theme with BoJack, man. Just trying to make himself feel better at the expense of others. These aren't real players. What is this bot match? His over dependency on Princess Carolyn is disgusting. I mean, from, like I said, the constant use for sex to make himself feel better, or when we go to the flashbacks where he's constantly making her hold the door. Like, you see, he just does not truly care about her like he claims. He's constantly calling her a friend and saying how she cares for him, he cares about her, and he falls back on her, but he does not give a single fuck about Princess Carolyn. And I don't even think I really have to too much get into the fact a liar, manipulator, and a narcissist. He constantly takes advantage of all women, sleeps with them like crazy, don't call them, don't text them back, no nothing. He had he slept with a fan at one point and then just completely left her MIA, had her going crazy over him. He's a complete misogynist, and he just doesn't see it. He plays victim while simultaneously victim blaming. It's insane. Another problem BoJack has, his alcohol and drug addiction. He doesn't acknowledge it, of course, and I don't even blame him for his drug addiction per se, because like I said, his background, what he came up with, the parents dealing with the celebrity lifestyle, I don't blame him. But also, I do blame him, not even for his addiction in itself, for things he's done behind his alcohol addiction. But we're going to get into that later. Another problem BoJack has, and it's probably the most popular one, his grooming of Penny and trying to take advantage of her. All because she looked like her mom, and he feels like he missed out on the family lifestyle and all of that stuff that Penny and her mom and the husband have. He wants that for himself. He's jealous. He's insecure that he missed out on that, and he sees Penny as a carbon copy of her mom, which she is. She looks just like her, and even though she's a minor, for some reason in his brain, he's looking at it like, all right, let me just take the younger version and mold her into what I could have had. And that shit is disgusting. He deserves to burn in hell for that shit. That shit is ridiculous. Absolutely disgusting. BoJack is a piece of shit. I mean, I could even shit out something better than BoJack. Shit, I probably did earlier today. And then moving on to the kicker for real. Everybody knows it. Everybody hates it. The fact that he let Sarah Lynn die after taking her out of her sobriety for 9 months. 9 months that girl was clean, living life, being free, doing better. And then here comes fucking BoJack, just BoJacking shit up. He pulls her out of her sobriety after, hold on, let's pull it back before he even pulls her out of her sobriety. She tells him, yo, BoJack, I've been sober for 9 months. Like, aren't you proud of me? Because she looks at him as a father figure, because when they were on Horsing Around, she was extremely young. She was a kid. She's like, aren't you proud of me? And he just completely disregards her, doubling back on his narcissistic personality and his blatant disregard for quote-unquote friends and people he cares about. And instead of acknowledging her sobriety, leaving her alone, going about his life, he decides, oh yeah, fuck that. You want to go on this binge with me? And knowing that she looks at him like a father figure, she says yes, because she doesn't want to disappoint BoJack. She doesn't want to make BoJack feel bad, which he already does, which is why he's doing this, to make himself fucking feel better. That's his damn problem. That's always been BoJack's fucking problem. Always trying to make himself feel better. And like I said, she doesn't want to disappoint BoJack, so she goes on this drug binge with him. And in the process of said drug binge, Sarah Lynn loses her damn life because of BoJack's neglect. Oh my gosh. Because of BoJack's neglectfulness. And everybody knows the 17 minutes where he just let her sit there instead of calling the police or the ambulance and letting them know what happened. Instead of doing the responsible thing, the right thing, and telling the police that girl just OD'd and she needs help, he just lets her fucking die, man. He just sits there for no reason and lets her die. And it's so sick. It's so sick. But remember when I said that his alcohol problem, I'll give him some credit here. It wasn't a problem at this point because he wasn't drinking. It was introduced to him. But it then became a problem that he did not fix, which is his fault. He ended up leaving some open alcohol around Sarah Lynn. He just leaves open alcohol around her, a minor, and once again refuses to take accountability for it. Instead, he decides to blame a coworker and be like, oh, or no, he doesn't even blame the coworker. The studio does it. But that's a problem BoJack has. He doesn't have a backbone, and he doesn't like to take responsibility for none of his actions. It doesn't matter how severe or what it was. If BoJack can find a way to deflect and not take responsibility for it, he's doing it every time, man. But yeah, instead of the studio they cover for BoJack, but his issue is he doesn't have a backbone, nor does he stand on business about anything. BoJack just lets anybody die. Theoretically, if it means he gets to survive in the long run, he will sacrifice anybody if it means he survives in the end of it. He literally cares about nobody but himself. Yo, can I get a team, bro? Like, you niggas suck. How do none of you have over 4 kills, bro? Bum, get off my dick, nigga. Like, why am I even your focus? Playing with 2 melee heroes and y'all can't put down a shield tank. I was basically saying, I lost track. But BoJack has no backbone. He lets people walk all over him constantly, and he just refuses accountability for anything. He's a bitch, and I hate him for it. Also, he had sex with Sarah Lynn, and he had I mean, y'all gotta do something with that. But yeah, that's what I was trying to say. He also had sex with Sarah Lynn in her time of need, bro. I don't remember the exact moment, but I'm pretty sure this was early season, and she came to him because she had some problem. I don't remember what it was. His response to said problem was to have sex with Sarah Lynn. His first instinct was to have sex with Sarah Lynn when she came to him in her time of need. Like I said, I don't remember. Why is this spawn so far back? That has to be some hoe shit. Like, oh my goodness, if you have no mobility, like, that spawn is criminal. They were just letting Squirrel Girl sit back there for free like idiots. 10 and 7, yeah, makes sense. We lost to triple DPS 1 healer because they just refused to go and get the motherfucker standing in the back. I already talked about how he's a misogynist and he takes advantage of women. Had sex with multiple women, left them behind, all type of shit. Also, another thing, he got this one director fired. I know y'all remember that director. I don't remember her name either. But he got her fired because he coerced her into breaking the rules after the executive producer told her, like, no, you can't do this. Like, this is something we can't have for the movie. You know, it's just out. And BoJack comes in her ear, just running his mouth, telling her what to do. And she should do this, this, and this. And she ends up getting fired. And in the end, they ask, like, whose idea was this? Who came up with this? Whose idea was it to go break into this place and do this, even though we told y'all not to? And he had the opportunity to say, me, BoJack, I did it. And guess what? He lets her fucking crash and burn and repeats the same thing with her. He burns a relationship for no reason, all because he can't just admit that he fucked up. Mind you, he's the star of these movies. If he just says, oh yeah, that's on me, he's gonna get so much more leeway than somebody else if they fuck up. Yeah, he avoids accountability. This is his issue. This is his thing. This is his fucking problem. Like, he had multiple opportunities to be like, yeah, it's my fault. And like I said, he's the star of the movies and the shows. If he fucks up, they are going to give him leeway. They're not giving anybody else leeway. They're going to fire. They're going to fire anybody else, which is what they end up doing, literally. If BoJack wasn't a bitch and could stand on his own 2 feet without giving people up in return of his success, he would be so much better off. It's literally just a repeat of Herb. He doesn't learn from his mistakes. And like I said, he's the star. Just take accountability. You are still going to be a part of the movie, bro. Like, I think Herb told him early on, they need the horse. They need you. They need BOJACK. They don't need me. The show's called Horsing Around. You're the one that's necessary. He literally tells him that. And he still refuses to just be a man and open his mouth and be like, yeah, I fucked up. You just gonna solo ult me. You're a fucking bum. BoJack has to be the most toxic personality in all of animated television. Constant denial, victim blaming, while trying to be the victim. I still don't know how that works. Playing the victim and victim blaming. Come on, buddy. He's a groomer. He's a home invader. He's a home wrecker, narcissist, manipulator, alcoholic, drug addict, narcissist, liar, a leech. He's over dependent. Also, he's dismissive of friends, family. He is a complete bona fide scrub. Mind you, he's doing all of this shit while he's in his fucking 40s. At the end of the show, when BoJack is supposed to go to prison, he deserves every ounce of that. He deserves all of it. But anyway, that's all I had to say about BoJack's bitch ass for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and remember, refuse to be regular.